Hello and welcome, and in today's video I'll be reviewing Fear the Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 7, Anton, and this is the final mid-season premiere that we'll ever get for Fear the Walking Dead. Some people will be sad, a lot of people will probably be really happy that Fear is literally only weeks away from ending. So, Episode 7, Anton, what is it about? Well, Episode 7 is very weird because it really does not feel like a mid-season premiere. And it feels like an episode just say right in the middle of a season. We get introduced to Strand, and the plot is very slow, and it's basically just Madison kind of teleports to where Strand is, and we see Strand's now called Anton. He suddenly speaks German now, he has this German family, and the plot is just simply about Strand trying to hide the fact that he's Strand, and just running away and panicking that his life has fallen apart, while his new family is getting a bit suspicious of why he's now suddenly acting very strange, and it basically just ends with him being like, yeah, I'm Strand. And that plot itself, very boring. I cannot say much good about it. The actual Strand part, I didn't like, and it really feels like a B plot. And one weird gripe I have from about Season 7, because it worked in Season 6, is that Fear is structured in a way which each episode focuses on one character, and I really dislike it. There's some more interesting aspects, but they always happen off screen. Fear really does that. It seems like the budget is so low we can't see any big combat, because we see Daniel kind of riding in, and then these guys being like, we gotta run. Strand kind of panics and yeets out of there, and then we see none of that. I just cannot say much positive about the Strand part of this episode, and it really does feel like the story and the pacing completely halts for long periods of time, so that characters can have these like lengthy discussions, which really annoy me. There's two moments in this episode. Both have Madison in it. One is with Madison and Strand's adopted son. Absolutely dislike that scene. It was just kind of boring, nothing entertaining. And the second scene is just Strand and Madison being like, I have to save Pargy because of this, and Strand having all these flashbacks and talking about why he chose Anton. I just really dislike those scenes, and it just really like put a halt to the pacing, and it just happens way too much. There's too many scenes in this episode with lengthy dialogue, and it just really annoys me. It's acted well, but I feel like it could have been done better, especially the Strand and Madison reunion. I was not a fan of that. I feel like it could have been done way better, and it's just a lot of things, and especially like the Daniel and Strand reunion. I know there was a lot going on, but I thought it just sucked because Daniel sees Strand again, doesn't make a comment. And we know in the next episode, there's going to be no scene with those two actually kind of hashing out the last time they met. And the last time they met, they tried to kill each other. It's just a lot of different things that really sucked about this plot. It was paced badly. The writing just felt bad. I felt the acting was meh. It just has a lot of negatives. And the only plus side, and this is the only plus side I'm going to say, Troy. He's right at the end of this episode and completely steals the show, and is the only good part of the entire episode. When Troy walks in, steals the scene, he's like, hey, Madison. And he's like, well, that's Victor, because, you know, Strand's been trying to hide the fact that he's Victor. Troy walks in and he's like, that's Victor. And Troy's the best bit, okay? He steals the show. I love his, like, kind of big reveal. And if this wasn't teased and we didn't have all those leaks, it would have been amazing to just kind of watch this episode, and then Troy comes out of nowhere and Troy's returned, because they treat it as like a massive part of the episode with the big music. Well, if it wasn't all of the trailers and wasn't revealed to us and it wasn't leaked, it would have been amazing to see that. And it's just a missed opportunity, I feel. The actual Troy scene is great. We have Troy being like, okay, I'm going to smash into his head. I really just hoped that Troy killed Strand's like new family. I just didn't like them. I felt they were kind of tacked on. They're just there to be like, Strand's a good guy now because he wants to do things right. Well, I feel like Strand should have died in the last season. He was a poorly done villain. He's easily one of the worst villains on Fear the Walking Dead, and maybe the entirety of the Walking Dead universe. Strand's story was done, I felt like. And you bring him back here, now he's the polar opposite, and the big time jump to be like, oh yeah, he tried to be good. It's just a lot of things all in one go. It's a very underwhelming episode, outside of the ending with Troy, because that's the only real good fair, and I say you could basically skip this episode and just watch the ending, because the ending gives us so much. We get Troy returning, we get Daniel storming in, and again, another big scene where everyone's kind of pointing guns at each other, but not a single character fires. Fear Season 8 has done that a lot, and it really does annoy me. We see it twice in this episode, and it's happened many times in the first 6 episodes, where characters kind of all bundle up together, and they all point guns at each other, and they're like, we gotta get out of here, and you don't hear any shooting. I absolutely hate that Fear keeps doing that. But outside of that, we get to see Daniel and Troy, like, kind of meet each other again, and I really like the bit where Troy calls out that he killed his daughter. I really liked that. And then the episode ends with this massive reveal, and spoilers, if you do not want to know the big spoiler is, leave now, but the massive reveal is that Alicia is dead. Madison mentions she's doing this for Alicia. Troy then be's like, yeah, go look in the bag. She opens the bag, and I do like how Madison isn't like, oh, it's Alicia's arm. She kind of turns back everyone else and sees what they're like thinking. So she'll be like, oh, it's Alicia. And yeah, Alicia's dead. That's the big reveal. So she died between seasons. And it's a shame that such a major character has died off screen. I really would have hoped that Alicia would have died, like, on screen. But that's what we got. So Alicia's now dead. Such a big reveal. We're just like, we're not going to get the big kind of Madison-Alicia, reunion. That's not going to happen. Maybe Troy lied, but I don't see Troy as a liar. He's a character that he's always speaking his mind. And yeah, so that's it. Alicia's gone. And looks like the next 5 episodes will have Madison versus Troy, but have the subplot with Madison going out to try and find Alicia's walker self. And maybe Alicia Carey will come back to be a walker. That'd be very interesting. But that's really the episode. It's just the big reveal. Alicia's dead. Troy's back. And Strand being really annoying for almost 40 minutes. So let's move over to my one sentence / one word over review. And I have to say, this is a boring episode. I can't say it's great, and give it a 4 out of 10. I really disliked this episode. And the only good bit is right at the end with Troy. There's nothing else good about this episode when you do not have Troy in this. Like, just watch the episode for Troy. Like, skip right to the bit where you have everyone tied up and Troy comes in, because that's the only good part of the episode. And this is definitely the worst episode so far in season 8, and it's such a shame. We're kicking off to the final 6 episodes with this, but please tell me down below, what did you think about episode 7, Anton? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what are your thoughts on that Troy has killed Alicia? Do you think he's lying? I personally think, yeah, Alicia is dead. I'd like to know your thoughts down below. But that's it for me today, so goodbye, peace out, and I'll see you in my next video.